Here's something nobody talks about, but everyone experiences. Toxic people are magnetic. They somehow find you at the worst possible moments, drain your batteries, and leave you questioning your own sanity. But what if I told you there's a psychology behind this? What if I told you that once you understand the game, you can stop being their victim? See, most people think dealing with difficult personalities is about being nice or patient or finding the right words. Wrong. It's about understanding that some people operate from a completely different playbook than you do. While you're trying to solve problems, they're creating them. While you're seeking harmony, they're stirring up chaos. And the moment you realize this isn't personal, everything shifts. Picture this scenario. You're having a decent day, feeling productive, maybe even optimistic. Then someone walks into your space, and within 5 minutes, you feel irritated, confused, or emotionally hijacked. Sound familiar? That's not coincidence. That's strategy. Some people have mastered the art of emotional manipulation without even realizing they're doing it. The first thing you need to understand is that difficult people rarely see themselves as difficult. In their minds, they're the reasonable ones. They're the victims. They're the ones surrounded by incompetence. This delusion is actually their superpower because it makes them fearless in their demands and relentless in their complaints.
But here's where it gets interesting. These people have patterns, predictable, repetitive patterns. Once you recognize the script they're following, you can write your own ending to their story. Think of them like weather systems. You can't control a storm, but you can prepare for it, take shelter, and wait for it to pass. Let me share something that changed my perspective completely. I used to think I could reason with unreasonable people. I thought if I just explained my position clearly enough, showed enough empathy, or demonstrated enough logic, they would suddenly see the light. What a waste of energy that was. It's like trying to teach calculus to someone who refuses to learn basic math. The breakthrough came when I stopped trying to fix them and started managing the situation. Instead of asking, how can I make them understand? I started asking, how can I protect my peace while dealing with this? Completely different game. Here's what most people get wrong. They think being strong means fighting back, raising their voice, or proving they're right. But real strength is staying calm when chaos surrounds you. Real power is maintaining your center while others lose theirs. Real intelligence is recognizing when someone is trying to pull you into their emotional tornado and simply stepping aside.
Think about the last time someone really got under your skin. I bet if you replay that interaction, you'll notice they were pushing specific buttons. Maybe they questioned your competence, challenged your values, or attacked something you care about. That wasn't random. Difficult people are experts at finding your triggers because your reaction gives them what they want: attention, control, or drama. Now here's the antidote. Become unpredictable to them. If they expect you to get angry, stay calm. If they want to argue, refuse to engage. If they're seeking drama, give them boring responses. That's interesting. I'll think about that. Thanks for sharing. Watch how quickly they lose interest when you stop feeding their need for conflict. But there's something deeper happening here. Dealing with toxic personalities isn't just about them, it's about you discovering who you really are under pressure. It's about learning that you don't have to absorb other people's emotional chaos. You don't have to solve everyone's problems. You don't have to be liked by people whose opinions don't actually matter. I learned this lesson the hard way through a colleague who seemed to specialize in making everyone around her miserable. She would complain constantly, criticize every idea that wasn't hers, and somehow make every conversation about her problems. For months, I tried different approaches. I tried being supportive, logical, even direct. Nothing worked. She just got worse.
Then I realized something profound. Her behavior wasn't about me at all. It wasn't even about the workplace situations she complained about. Her negativity was a habit, a way of connecting with the world that had probably served her in some twisted way for years. Once I understood this, I stopped taking responsibility for her emotional state and started taking responsibility for my own. The shift was immediate. Instead of dreading interactions with her, I became curious about them. Instead of trying to fix her mood, I focused on maintaining mine. Instead of getting frustrated by her complaints, I started setting clear boundaries about what I would and wouldn't discuss. The amazing thing? She eventually found other targets because I was no longer an easy mark. This brings me to a crucial point about boundaries. Most people think boundaries are about controlling other people's behavior. They're not. Boundaries are about controlling your own responses. They're about deciding what you will accept, what you won't tolerate, and what consequences you'll implement when those lines are crossed. Difficult people test boundaries constantly. They push a little, then a little more, until suddenly you're living in their world instead of your own. But boundaries aren't suggestions or requests. They're non-negotiable standards you set for how you allow yourself to be treated. The beauty is, you don't need anyone's permission to have them.
Here's something that might surprise you. Some of the most challenging people in your life are actually your greatest teachers. They show you where you need to get stronger. They reveal the areas where you give your power away. They force you to develop skills you never knew you needed. In a strange way, they're doing you a favor by being exactly who they are. But please, don't confuse this with accepting toxic behavior or making excuses for people who consistently disrespect you. There's a difference between learning from difficult people and allowing them to damage your well-being. Wisdom is knowing when someone deserves your patience and when they deserve your absence. The most liberating realization you can have is this: you don't owe anyone unlimited chances. You don't have to keep hoping someone will change if they've shown you repeatedly who they are. You don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Sometimes the kindest thing you could do for both of you is to create distance. This isn't about being harsh or unforgiving, it's about being realistic. Some people are in seasons of their life where they're not capable of healthy relationships. Some people have wounds they haven't healed that make them hurt others. Some people simply haven't developed the emotional intelligence to interact respectfully. That's their journey, not your emergency.
Your job is to protect your energy, maintain your standards, and surround yourself with people who contribute positively to your life. Because here's the truth they don't teach you in school. The people you allow into your inner circle will determine the quality of your thoughts, the level of your peace, and the direction of your growth. So pay attention to how you feel after spending time with different people. Notice who leaves you feeling energized versus drained. Observe who brings out your best self and who triggers your worst impulses. Your emotional responses are data, and that data is telling you something important about who deserves access to your time and attention. The goal isn't to become cold or closed off. It's to become selective. It's to realize that your peace of mind is not a renewable resource that you can waste carelessly. It's precious, and it requires protection. The moment you start treating your mental and emotional well-being as the priority it actually is, everything changes. Difficult people will always exist. They're part of the human experience. But once you understand that their behavior is about them, not you, once you develop the skills to maintain your center regardless of external chaos, once you get comfortable with not being liked by people who don't align with your values, that's when you become truly free.
Remember, you can't control other people's actions, but you have complete control over your reactions. You can't change their personality, but you can change your approach. You can't make them respect you, but you can respect yourself enough to walk away when necessary. That's not giving up, that's growing up. Your energy is currency. Spend it wisely. Your peace is precious. Guard it fiercely. Your time is limited. Invest it in people and situations that give you a positive return. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to win battles with difficult people. The goal is to build a life so fulfilling that their drama becomes irrelevant background noise. What's one boundary you need to set this week to protect your peace? Think about it, then take action. Your future self will thank you.